Laugh more. Be silly. Evolve together. Standard advice. But here's why it fails for 90% of couples. You know how those DNA test ads are everywhere now? Discover your roots. Find your family. Well, after 10 years of marriage, Tom and I thought, why not? We'd done everything else together, backpacked through Europe, learned to salsa dance, survived my experimental cooking phase. A DNA test seemed like harmless fun. We ordered 2 kits on a lazy Sunday afternoon, laughing as we spit into those little tubes. Tom joked that he was probably descended from Vikings. I said I was hoping for something exotic, maybe a little Italian or Greek to explain my love of pasta. We'd been living our best life. No kids, just us, spontaneous road trips, wine-soaked dinners, late-night conversations that stretched until dawn. Life was good. Life was simple. I sealed my kit, dropped it in the mailbox, and forgot about it completely. I had no idea that little tube of spit was about to detonate a bomb that would shatter everything I thought I knew about my life, my marriage, and my family. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you what happened when those results came back. 6 weeks later, I got the email. Your DNA results are ready. Tom was at work, so I poured myself some coffee, settled onto the couch, and logged in. I was excited. Maybe I'd find some distant cousins or learn I was part Scottish. I clicked through the ethnicity breakdown, pretty standard stuff. Then I saw the family tree section. Close family matches. There was one result. The relationship label read, nephew. I blinked. Nephew? That couldn't be right. I'm an only child. I don't have any siblings, so how could I possibly have a nephew? I clicked on the profile, my heart starting to pound for reasons I couldn't explain yet. The name loaded. Thomas Mitchell. My husband. My screen showed my husband's name under the word nephew. I read it again. And again. The coffee cup slipped from my hand, crashing onto the hardwood floor. I stared at those 2 words burning into my screen, close relative, nephew. But I don't have any siblings, or do I? My hands were shaking as I grabbed my phone. I needed answers. I called the one person who might know, my aunt. Carol, my mother's sister. Aunt. Carol, my voice cracked. Did she ever have another child? The silence on the other end lasted forever. Oh honey, she finally whispered. You weren't supposed to know. And just like that, the floodgates opened. My mother got pregnant at 16. It was 1982, and she was still in high school. My grandparents were devastated, ashamed. They sent her away to a home for unwed mothers, made her give the baby up for adoption. A boy. Born in April 1982. I was only 3 years old when it happened. Too young to understand why mommy went away for a few months. Too young to remember. That baby, my half-brother, was out there somewhere. And suddenly, I knew exactly where. And suddenly, everything aligns. Every loose thread, every passing detail she dismissed, snaps into place. Tom's birthday? April, 1982. The exact same month her half-brother disappeared from the family records. The same year her father quietly paid for another family to move away. Tom had always said he was adopted. But he never cared to look for his birth parents. He'd always said family is the one that loves you, not the one that makes you. And she used to admire that about him. Tom isn't just some man she fell in love with. He is her half-brother's son. Her father knew. His mother knew. Maybe more people knew. And she, unknowingly, has been married to her biological nephew for 10 years. But now, the math is undeniable. Her stomach drops. Her breathing turns sharp. A ringing fills her ears. What does this mean for them? For their marriage license? For their vows? For the life they built together? Is their marriage even legal? Were they living a lie this whole time? Or worse, something everyone else already knew? And then comes the final blow, the thought she can't outrun. What will people say when they find out? The shame. The whispers. The judgment. The headlines. Her entire world, her identity, begins to unravel. Her first instinct is to run. To pretend none of this ever happened. Delete the emails. Close the Ancestry account. Shred the documents. Bury the truth in the deepest corner of her mind and never look back. Because if she doesn't speak it, maybe it won't be real. But then she remembers. Tom took the same test. His results are coming in any day now. He will see the same matches, the same connections, the same truth. And if he learns it alone, if he has to piece together this nightmare without her, it might break him. So she decides. She has to be the one to tell him. She prints the family tree, line by line, name by name, connection by connection. Each sheet feels heavier than the last, like they're carved from stone. Her hands shake. Her breath is uneven. The printer hums like a countdown. This isn't just information. This is the end of life as they knew it. She gathers the pages, sits at the kitchen table. The same table where they laughed, argued, planned their future. The same table where they dreamed of kids. She waits for him to come home. And her heart is pounding so loud that the quiet house doesn't feel quiet anymore. The door opens. She hears his footsteps, light, familiar, comforting. The sound that usually means safety. It feels like a storm about to hit. Tom walks in with a smile, keys jingling, already talking about dinner plans. Some new restaurant he found. He's excited. He's glowing. He's normal. She asks him to sit. Just those words alone make him pause. She isn't. He looks at her, really looks, and the smile fades. Something is wrong. He knows. He can feel it. She slides the papers across the table. The family tree. The DNA match. The dates. The names. At first, he doesn't understand. Then he does. And the color drains from his face. Completely. Silence. A silence so heavy it presses on her chest. She can hear the clock ticking in the next room. She can hear her pulse in her ears. She whispers, voice cracking. Tom, we're family. He doesn't look shocked. He doesn't gasp. He doesn't deny it. He just closes his eyes. And then he says, quietly, almost gentle, "Why, Bonnie, I already knew." She stares at him, waiting for the rest of the sentence. Waiting for the explanation. Waiting for the world to make sense again. Tom swallows hard. His voice is barely above a whisper. He tells her he took a DNA test 3 years ago. Not for fun. Not out of curiosity. But because he had always Faye. LT. Misplaced. Like his life had missing corners. Like a story he wasn't allowed to read. And when the results came in, when he saw the name of her family attached to his, when he realized the truth, he said it felt like the floor dropped out from underneath him. He didn't tell her. Not because he didn't care, but because he cared too much. He says every night since then has been a balancing act. Loving her fiercely, while living in quiet panic. That one day she'd find out. And see him as a monster. He breaks. Not slowly. Completely. His voice cracks, his hands shake, and tears hit the table between them. I should have told you. His shoulders heave. He can't look at her. I should have told you the moment I knew. He wipes at his face with trembling fingers. But Bonnie, you are the only real family I've ever had. Not by blood. By choice. By love. I couldn't lose you. I didn't know how to live without you. He looks up now, eyes red, desperate. And in that moment, she realizes. The truth didn't just break her world. It shattered his too. The room feels too small. Too quiet. Too heavy. She watches him, this man she loves, fall apart in front of her. And her heart twists because she knows his pain is real. His fear was real. His love is real. But so is the lie. She's furious. At him. At fate. At whatever cosmic joke led them here. How could he keep something so big? So life-altering? So defining? But then she imagines being in his place. Finding out the person you love is tied to you by blood. Not just memory and affection. Would she have had the courage to say it out loud? Or would she have held on to love the same way he did? Tight. Desperate. Afraid of losing everything. They aren't siblings. They don't share a parent. But society won't care about that nuance. People love a scandal. People judge what they don't understand. And legally? Some states call this marriage invalid. Others call it something worse. Something whispered. Something ugly. The world will have opinions. Laws. Labels. Names. But the only question echoing in her chest is, can we survive this? She loves him. God, she loves him. But is love enough? When the truth threatens to drown them both. The dilemma isn't just about what they are. It's about what they do next. Tom wipes his face, still shaking, and reaches into his jacket pocket. Not for his keys. Not for his phone. But for an envelope. It's worn at the edges, creased from being opened and closed. Carried and recarried. He places it on the table like it weighs 1,000 pounds. He tells her he's been carrying it for months. Waiting for the right moment. Praying that moment would never come. Inside the first envelope is a letter from a lawyer. Words like annulment, dissolution. Pathways to exit the marriage quietly. Her heart clenches. Because he knew this conversation was coming. He prepared for the possibility of letting her go. But there's something else. A second envelope. Smaller. Softer. The paper yellowed with time. Her name written on the front in looping, familiar handwriting. Her mother's. But her mother has been gone for 5 years. Her hands tremble as she opens it. The letter is dated months before her mother passed. Her mother writes about Tom. About the truth. About the bloodlines and family history no one ever spoke about out loud. She had known. She had figured it out long ago. And yet, her mother didn't sound horrified. Instead, her words are soft, steady, full of something like understanding. Love is rare. Do not let blood you did not choose. Destroy what your heart chose freely. There are all kinds of families. Some built from pain. Some built from survival. Some built from choosing each other when the world said not to. Her mother knew. And instead of warning her hour, why? Bonnie's breath catches. She gave her blessing. Everything she thought she understood. About love. Family. Fate. Has just flipped again. The house is quiet again. No shouting. No chaos. Just two people sitting across from one another. Holding a truth too heavy for any ordinary love story. Bonnie reads her mother's words again and again. Letting them settle in the cracks of her breaking heart. They didn't know. They didn't scheme. There was no deception at the beginning. Just two souls who found each other. In a world that rarely hands out gentle things. So they do the only thing they can do now. They research. Law books. Court cases. Genetic definitions. State statutes. And slowly, the picture becomes clearer. They are not direct blood siblings. Not raised together. Not tied by the same parent. Their connection is distant enough that, legally, their marriage stands. No crime. No invalidation. No scandal. Unless they speak it into existence. So the question becomes, do they stay together and guard this secret like a flame in the wind? Or do they tear their lives apart? In the name of a truth that had no part in how their love was formed? She looks at Tom. A decade of shared mornings. Inside jokes. Comfort during sickness. Hands held during loss. Late night laughter. Promises made in whispers. Everything they've built. Built on love, not DNA. She sees him. Not the bloodline. Not the connection. Just him. And in that moment, the answer comes not from logic, but from the heart. She reaches across the table. Takes his shaking hand in hers. And whispers. We didn't choose how we're related. But I choose you. The decision isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's steady. Certain. Some secrets, she realizes, are meant to stay buried. And some love is stronger than DNA. Did you like my story? If you watched it to the end, drop a 2 in the comment. If you enjoyed it, you can support me by liking this video and sending a small tip. I've got lots of other live stories like this on my channel, so make sure you subscribe.